Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, you know my brand, Inspired by Dreams Shop, and that's the place where you can go and get your drip on and add some new things to your closet. So it's Friday. The energy's up. I'm feeling good. I got a lot of things to bring to you guys, and I just want to have a conversation today on just some things that surrounding a few new video drops that I have there. I want you guys to go check out after this is over, and plus I have another new video dropping at 12 p.m. So we got a full schedule going on today, and I don't know. Where should we start this off today? I just seen something. I just wanted to start it off with this. My last live, I told you guys about Tekashi 6ix9ine receiving a coffin in the mail, and it had like King Von writing on it, and rest in peace, King Von, or something like that. Something very disrespectful, and I didn't really pay too much mind to it because a lot of people have a whole bunch of nonsense attached to their life, and things are just happening, and like I always tell you guys, some of this stuff you don't really take in and really pay too much attention to. But today I'm hearing on TMZ they reported that DJ Khaled, he received a black coffin and it said RIP OVO, RIP Drake or something on it, and they're saying it has something to do with I guess his last friction with him saying he was releasing new music and Drake denying him of the music and him pulling it down. But my whole thing is like, what are we mailing caskets now? Is that something new? Because it's getting real spooky. Somebody's mailing you a casket. You don't run a TMZ. I mean, I don't know if that's a sign for these people, but all I gotta say is, man, mailing DJ Khaled a black casket. I mean, how far are we taking these things here? Now, the last thing I heard on DJ Khaled, I don't really hear too much on him, but the last thing I heard, he was kind of involved with that whole Nipsey Hussle being killed because of Nipsey saving him, one of these hood pass or whatever you have to pay, when you go to people's neighborhood or whatever. And I believe that Nipsey saved them from not paying, and just a whole bunch of, politics went around DJ Khaled. From that point on, I never heard anything from him again. But just popping until that Drake, saying, he was going to release music. But now a casket is mailed, sent a casket out. I don't know what's going on, man. The entertainment game right now, it's not only is it silly, but it's spooky at the same time. I mean, mailing a casket, it's these types of things just show, I don't know, the energy you put out there is the energy you get back. And both of those people, I don't know, I don't know if there's a relation to that, but, and then the RIP Drake and OVO, what is that about, you guys? It's kind of like, people are kind of losing their way, and feels like they're trying to pull people down with them. The next thing I wanted to bring to you guys, that was just real crazy. I don't know, you guys got to go check that out, man. People are out here mailing caskets. I'm like, my goodness, where are we taking this? But on this whole Diddy, it's been a few. I could say it feels like it's been so much a long time now that Diddy's been incarcerated or in detention or whatever you want to call it. But it looks like Diddy's fighting back with the gloves on, man. Because at the end of the day, he's fighting back, and he's saying that he's calling like a racist card, saying that there's no other white people that was up against these charges that got treated this way. So that's the route his lawyer and they're taking right now. They're using that mistreatment, and I guess you got to fight back in every case, no matter who you are or what situation you're in. You got to at least fight back, and nobody's not gonna go in without giving a fight back. So Diddy is fighting back behind that, and there's a lot of things I feel like that surrounded this whole Diddy case that could have been left out, but the more the days go on, there's always more and more people coming in. I'm here, from the married woman to just more people just piling up on top of this case. It's just a big mess. I'm hearing the case, I believe it's May is going to be going down. So we'll just have to wait and see what really sticks to the table, and see if, these Diddy filing charges against these people. Let's see how this whole thing goes. I'm not sure right now. I came across an article that I did want to bring to you guys, and it said something about, because I know he was already incarcerated, K-Flock, and it says that he's facing a life sentence due because they're using the lyrics of his from his music. And I just wanted to stay on that real. I just wanted to highlight that part of it because I don't know the whole situation or the entirety of his case. But you got to realize the words and all of the nowadays music is not being used more of entertainment. It's more being used a way of communicating, and people within that communication, when the violence and the crime is a part of it, it makes these people use that as evidence, and it's not going to stop. I feel like social media put a different spin on what really could be brought up in court. And now that you see lyrics and things are being, some rappers, not all rappers, you see their lyrics are, steered towards another artist and are their neighborhoods, and they're telling stories from their neighborhoods, and they can, if that story is they can put it together and they can tie it in with a murder or anything like that, you best to believe they're going to pull that up in court. And that might be the thing that can take your life away from your family because of the mistakes you made in your lyrics. So you got to be very careful and know that, everybody has to know that some words cut deep. Words mean a lot. So, be careful in the things you say. I see a lot of people, a lot of the youth, they go into doing these interviews and they want to give their character out to the public so bad and paint this picture that they end up telling a little bit too much or speaking on somebody else that they had no business speaking on, and in turn that makes people, they can get in trouble, and people, they part ways. Things happen behind the scenes after these types of conversations when you're involved in street business and on social media, because then people looking and they're putting these guys in jail for a long, long time. They're not even giving them a chance to to come back in come back in 5 years. It's like 20 years and things like that. So this is the type of time you don't really want to get yourself involved in. As far as K-Flock, man, I feel like he had a promising career until he chose to live out the type of stuff that he was dealing with. Now, when you're living in an aggressive environment, guns are always around, and things can happen at a fast rate, and you can get yourself hurt and become a victim very easily. But at the same time, when you're making a substantial amount of money on YouTube, you got to start planning to put yourself in a better position so you can do your art and whatever you have going for yourself, and you won't have to watch your back or know that somebody can shoot you when you walk out your door. And these are the type of things that's going to take, when it comes down to making a lot of money or making money in general, you have to add some kind of survival tactics to your thinking, and know that the more you get, the more you have to protect you as well as the people around you. Come on, man. You gotta open your eyes to these things. It's not about just how you present yourself, but it's all about how people are seeing you too. And if they feel like you're a target, or you did something to somebody, or they want something off you because you're always walking around with something, well then you got to be that much more careful. And it seems like, man, he had a promising career, but it looks like he's not going to be able to fulfill it. You can't fulfill it behind these behind bars. So it's a sad thing, but at the end of the day, a lot of the other youth could learn from it, and the people that looked up to him and felt like his music is the thing that brought them closer to them, just take that and know that you don't have to live out these criminal acts or get yourself into situations, because if you're in these violent areas and you want to make it out of it, well, make it out. Don't stay in it and be a part of it and get into the politics of it, because then you're going to end up getting left there or in prison. That's all. Let me close this up. And that's all I wanted to stay on that one with, because it gets crazy when you're not in a place where you can just walk down the street with your valuables. No, you're in a place where we from New York City. It's not everywhere that's going to be that that comfortable to do what you want to do. You got to protect yourself. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was I seen a little clip of the rest in peace and healing energy to Irv Gotti and his family. I seen a piece of they had like a private wake, and I seen Jay-Z was up in there. He was sitting in the front row, and I don't know if you guys seen that clip, because there was so many different clips and different things of it, but I happened to tune into this one, and I believe in this one, Ja Rule, he spoke, and a few other people. it was touching, man. It was touching to know that, you know, a man with so much energy and the way he touched people, you know, being there for Jay in his first album and what he added to Jay-Z, you know, as far as like the beat and everything, it just made sense that Jay will be there, you know, and I knew he would show up. It was almost one of those things where, you know, I didn't doubt him on that, man, because at the end of the day, good people are always going to be good people, man. I felt like in that moment, I felt like Jay is like, he done reached Batman status. You know, like if you're in the corner, Jay's over there on the phone or something, and somebody's, you just get into something, you know, you automatically look over at Jay like, you think you could give me a hand or something? It's one of those type of things. A lot of people look to Jay-Z for, you know, for certain things because of the status he reached and just how he conducted himself with that level of respect. And to know that he came back to see, you know, to be there for Irv in his passing, that meant a lot to me. It said a lot. It said a lot about his character, and it said a lot about, you know, the people that, especially Ja Rule too. He was in tears. You know, it's hard. I feel like him and Irv, they moved around like brothers. And you know, when you have somebody that believes in your dream and then they stick it all the way out with you, that's more than anything. You know, that means a lot. That means that, you know, sometimes they put aside the ththings that they felt like they wanted to do just to stand behind and you know, try to push you forward with your dream and get you there. And at the same time, you both of you guys are elevating and you're reaching these heights where in hip hop, you know, it's not the easiest of thing. And just his character, the way he you know, when it comes down to people passing, I don't want to highlight any wrongs, anything, because we all make mistakes. But his character, he was very energetic, and he always left something back with people. So when you see guys like that, they're like the best quote I've seen about Irv that meant so much to me was from Angie Martinez, and I think she wrote something like, "He's a one of one." And yeah, he was one of one. So, you know, that type of spirit, you know, that's going to always live in the people that he touched. That's why I always tell you guys, how you treat people, it stays within them no matter what. You know, no matter if the whole world is saying there's something great about this person, if you was treated bad by that person, you feel it. So always treat people with that same respect. What's going on? What's going on? Peace, 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 peace. My peoples, my peoples. What's up, y'all? Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I got new drops dropping, and I got a new video dropping today at 12 p.m. Plus, I got 2 conversations I want you guys to really check out. Should poor people have multiple kids? Is one of the videos. I'm not saying shouldn't have kids or anything, but should they have multiple kids? And that's one conversation I have up there. And I also have this other, let me see. I have another conversation up there that I wanted you guys to check out. Hold on, let me see the name of it. It's, I forgot the name. Oh, okay, so the anti-intellectualism, that's, I wanted to talk to you guys in that conversation because, you know, in these times, a lot of people are going for the certificate instead of degrees, and they're like wiping education out slowly by slowly, but it's not, you know, there's no credibility in that. And I want people to have a better understanding of, you know, why the educational system is just being like, it's being ripped apart. But I feel like it needs a refresh and just a whole new structure for the educational system. But at the same point, we still got to learn and still know how to learn and what to take in, because a lot of misinformation out here and people are believing in people that, you know, they don't really know what they're talking about. They're trying to get to the point, but they just don't really have the whole cover of it. So that's a good video for you. That's a good conversation for you guys to tune into. And yeah, it just shows the level of, you know, because a lot of people could go so far with their level of education or just their intelligence by itself, but because of money, financial situations, they stay at a point where they're just doing this because this is just bringing it in. And that's kind of one of the conversations within that video that, you know, it covers. So I want you guys to check that out. Plus I have something for my Latinos and my Hispanics that's dropping today at 12 p.m. So you guys, you know, I'm trying to keep it all around and keep the conversations fair for everybody. And I like to hear people's different takes on it. You know, some people cuss me out like they think I'm the one that, you know, but I'm just trying to bring people together to just show people just the similarities that we do have. So I hope you guys are really paying attention to what's going on right now. Another thing too I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, this was kind of crazy, you guys. So I don't know if all of you guys know this artist, but he was a new. Hold on, let me see. This is something that this kind of it's kind of I've covered this in my conversation, so it goes kind of well. This is a good bridge. The art I don't he's a great he's a new artist. You could say kind of new artist. His St. John. I don't know if you guys heard about St. John, but he's one. I love St. John's music. Very dope dude. Has different ideas, and his music has such a wide span of just listeners because of his sounds and the way he puts it together. But he was talking about, I believe he was in Puerto Rico, and they were being racist towards him. And in these, I have a lot of conversations about this. It's in a lot of places. There's a lot of colorism. There's a lot of people looking at people's complexion, skin color, judging people off of that. And he was actually living in Puerto Rico. So that means he was actually, and he doesn't have to live in these places because he makes a lot of money in entertainment. And he's out there enjoying himself, and he's living in a place where it's being like certain, I don't want to say the whole of Puerto Rico, but I've never been there to say that. But he's calling that, they've been very racist towards him. And these are one of the reasons why I always tell you guys, these conversations come up. You got to know where you're going. You got to know the people around you. You got to know that who you are, your people, and how people are taking. Because in a lot, it's not just so many different races that they have this colorism thing, and he's out there and he's falling victim to that. So it's kind of like these conversations need to be had, and that's one of the reasons why I keep up those conversations. Whether I'm a part of a person's culture, I could do something on Mexicans. It's all rounded because it's the outlook of it all is for you to see what's really going on. So you guys, I don't know if you guys heard of that, but check that out, man. It's like, come on, people got to do better than that. I know where, if you go back to Barbados, that's where my family is from. Barbados is one of the places that's very welcoming. It's very culture diverse, where people can come in from different cultures and just enjoy themselves. It's not one of these places where you go down there and you gotta well, you do have I believe in all the West Indies in these times you gotta hold on to your passport, because they'll take your passport and then you'll be stuck. But at the end of the day, it's very welcoming, and you can learn more about the culture when you go out there, instead of having to be watching your back and be scared for your family when you go visit these places. And that just says a lot for Puerto Rico. And I'm not saying it for the whole Puerto Rico, because I've never been there. But if that's the case, where they're pushing that racism energy, then not a lot of people is going to want to keep visiting from different cultures. And I believe that's what that's what it's all about, when different cultures are coming to the place, your home, and bringing things to it, and even taking stuff from it, and respectively, and go into their culture, and giving them some insight of what you learned while you was out there. So when you see things like this, you got to be very careful on your travels. I always tell you guys, a lot of people are traveling, and we're getting to the point where we're seeing a lot of mistakes and mishaps going on from people that's, don't have it up here, or just, something just goes wrong. So we got to be alert of what's going on, and be aware that anything can happen, and you can avoid a lot of things by just making the right moves and making the right decisions. What else we got here this morning? Let me see. What is this? Hold on. I did have something crazy for you guys too, that was kind of, I'm not gonna even stay long on this, because after a while, just talking about it, seems like it hurt. It's starting to sink in that this is getting bad. So Dame Dash, he finds himself in court. I guess they're saying that he didn't show up in court or something like that. But when the overall of it, I don't want to get into the man's business, because so many people every single day are just jumping into people's business and telling whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's like he's owing more money, and it's like in the big numbers, like 800 and something I'm hearing. And it's just kind of like, man, in these times, you don't want to put yourself in that position. It's kind of like, just pay these people off and get them out of your life, because that fighting to pay people off, and paying this one, paying that one, paying this one, paying that one, it gets so stressful that thing is worse than, that's beyond worse than bills, you guys. Bills is something we just have to deal with, we have to live with. But when it comes to just owing people, and you can't get a break, because if you make some money here, they're taking it, you want to get that type of stuff out the way. So I don't know, man. It's not, I don't make fun of people and clown people for being in bad, mishaps with their money and things like that. But it's just an eye opener to show that, kind of having yourself a little too spread out in different things can lead, if you don't have it all together, there's so many different things can go wrong. That's why I always tell you, like, it's one thing about you having your hustle on and flipping certain things, but when you're dealing and you're kind of like winding down to the thing that you want to, make money off of, enjoy yourself off of, and live a life out. You don't want to be doing so many different things, because when this goes wrong, when that goes wrong, this goes wrong, then you can't even concentrate on the thing that you're really there trying to, build and make last a longer time. So, man, just try to get your money right. He's not the only one, because there's a lot of people in the entertainment business that we might not even believe that they're having financial problems and money issues, because some people have so much that they don't know where it's going or where it's coming from, and people are taking from that bag, and then some people, they're trying to get what they feel like they deserve or what has been taken from them. So it's like a whole big mess when it comes down to that. And at the same point, in our communities, we hear like these broken promises about how people are going to help this and help that, but really we have to wait to see where the help is coming from, and how we're going to survive in these next few years to come, with these prices going as high as a roller coaster. You know what I mean? So pay attention, but at the same point, keep in mind that anything can happen to anybody. So don't go out there and laugh or talk down on people. Just try to keep your if you want to start a business, be an entrepreneur, just know that being an entrepreneur comes with losses, but at the same time you gain, and the gains are always worth more. So whatever you have your heart to do, put it in there, start and take your baby steps. Don't be so ready for that instant gratification of success, because that right there usually puts people in the loop, and they end up losing whatever they had started. So you want to take your baby steps all the way through it, and by the time you know it, you'll be where you want to be. It's all good. You see a lot of these big companies. You see Amazon. I believe they took ownership of the James Bond. A lot of these big companies, I'm talking about the really, really big ones, that's like the Amazons. I don't want to just keep throwing out company names, but just the big ones, they are starting to find different places where they want to grab ownership of certain things. And that's why you see people are selling off what they started to these big companies, because they're at a point where they might feel like they can't take it to the next level, or they financially need the money, so they get bought out. It's sad, but that's how these big companies run. They run like sharks, man. If they see something that they might possibly be on sale, you losing your business, you going bankrupt. It's like, here, let me get that, and they like get this ownership of it, and it becomes part of their whatever they have going. So yeah, man, that's kind of what Amazon is doing. Another thing too, I don't know if you got let's keep on that same financial wave right there. Did you guys hear that T-Pain, I believe he sold his publishing and sold his music, his catalog or whatever. I don't know for how much, but that comes with a hefty price, especially when you're dealing with an artist like T-Pain. A lot of T-Pain's music had a lot of value to it, had a lot of selling power to it, because of the fact that you could put it behind commercials and movies and sports. It was well-rounded, and he made the type of music where that it had a good spirited energy to his music. And that, like I always tell you, uplifting music gets its placement in these big spots that you would never even realize. And now he's selling his catalog. So to buy a T-Pain catalog, you guys, you just got to understand that, like Irv Gotti, rest in peace, he sold, I believe, for $300 million. So you could just imagine T-Pain's catalog, and he, this is the guy that perfected the auto-tune and changed the sound of the game at a point. So at the same point of him selling that, it's a sad thing, because we like to see people keep their ownership, because it kind of standpoints, for our people. But at the same point, I don't know that man's financial issues or whatever he has going on, and it might be the biggest type of number where it's worth it. So you never know. But however it goes, I'm hearing that T-Pain, he's sold or selling it's his whole catalog. And when I thought about it, I'm like, T-Pain, it was nothing but hits. It was nothing but hits. T-Pain is one of those artists that you will never ever forget. When you hear his sound, whether it's coming up in a commercial or whatever, sports, it's T-Pain. So his music had a lot of value in it. So I would tell the youth, and the youth can take the lesson from that, knowing that when you get that original sound about yourself, it might not pay off in the beginning, but in the long run, when people, if it takes that kind of impact on your fans, and the more it grows and people love you for that sound and you keep perfecting it, that's the type of songs that will last forever. Those are the type of songs people sample, people want to use for their commercials, to sell products. So there is still placement, for that type of music. Don't always think that, because you think about it, if you're talking like drill music and you're talking about you so-and-so, you shot him, he shot them, that music only stays in the point where the streets are paying attention, but it's not hitting the masses with, it's not going to put product placement. It's not going to put these things in place because of the wording, because you can have a dope beat that maybe your wording had a lot of curses in it, but the beat is so energetic that it can push a commercial. But to get that even to that point, that right there even comes with some type of negotiation, knowing that they have trust in just taking the words off and just using the beat. That's like, so what song that usually happens to? Busta Rhymes, legendary Busta Rhymes himself. He has that that boom boom boom. The beat. It's one of the dopest beats in hip hop ever made. And sometimes you hear the beat on its own on a product or a commercial, and it's just the beat. Now, us in our hearts in hip hop, yeah, we hear that, and we relate that to Busta Rhymes every time we hear it. And for other people, it's just the music is so capturing that they not only relate that, but they attach the product or whatever is being sold. So that song has a lot of value to it. Make your music with a lot of that has value to it, that people you can build off of it. In other words, franchise want to use your music to just sell, or maybe they're opening, so there's a lot of placement when it comes down to uplifting music and energy driven music, high energy driven music. What else we have here? Oh, this on another note, let's get out of entertainment real quick. We'll be back and let's jump right into the streets. Now, did you guys hear out here in New York? There's like a prison. I guess they're like, I'm gonna break it down the best way I know it. I believe that the prisons out here in New York, a lot of people they're protesting, and there's not a lot of, we heard this before. There's not a lot of correction officers. Not a lot of enough people to actually guard the people in prison. So now what we're seeing a lot of riots in these prisons. A lot of people lives are in jeopardy because they don't really have the manpower. And with all these cuts and high prices, people, I don't think they have the mental to be in charge of these people that's just going crazy in these prisons and not even being compensated, or just they're losing their mental trying to hold these people together. So right now the prisons are at the worst in New York. It's not safe at all. I'm not sure if it's just New York prisons, but that's what I'm hearing. And man, it just goes to show you that when the temperature gets when it get hot like that, things start happening, man. It's happening. So a lot of these prisons you're gonna see and hear in the news, people rioting in these prisons. This so-and-so got killed in the prison. He got stomped. This guard got killed. A lot of stuff like that is gonna be happening because people are on this rebellious because of not being, compensated, financially, or just a lack of people wanting to work in these places. You got to think of that too, because it's a mental strain when you play that position of authority and you have one way you think that it goes, and when you get there it's some way else, and the way people are conducting themselves, you don't feel right with it, and now you got years and years. It gets stressful, and that's when that bare minimum energy starts coming in, and you don't want to come to work. And yeah, it's there. So that's what's really happening with that. I just thought that was just really crazy, and yeah, man, it's really nuts. Did you guys hear about this? Am I correct when I'm saying this? Jaguar Wright, she just received, I believe she was honored for a Mar-A-Lago award or something like that. Congratulations, congratulations. You know what? Jaguar, right? She's a very interesting person. You know, I've heard things from her in the past where I felt like it was a little off the edge, but when I really her whole self, her whole being, she's a very interesting person, and you know, I'm glad that she can keep her mental up and still live through the things that she's saying and still tell just tell her truth and speak her truth. And just know that, you know, everybody has their lens. Everybody sees things through their lens, and you have to have some understanding, even if it doesn't, you know, align with the things that you believe in and things like that. So yeah, so big ups to Jaguar. She's been honored. It's always good when you see people get honored, and it gives that extra boost to let them know what they're doing, and however they got honored, they're doing the right things. So yeah, you know, I spoke about this before. This might rub people wrong, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. I seen this, I read on it, and I said, she got some nerve. Rapper Xzibit's ex-wife. Now, she is claiming she wants $30,000 more in child support. $30,000 more in child support. And you know why? Because she can't live this luxurious life that she once had. Look, listen. You see, this is the reason why that whole structure has to change. Number one, we're living in the times where she says she can't buy all the stuff that she can't buy, they're all material things. Did you ever think, what if Xzibit's not on that materialization stuff? What if he has a different outlook on life, feeling like the material stuff is not it's not just the best for the kid? Just having all this material stuff and all these clothes you want to buy for your kid, that should not have to come out of somebody's child support. That's a lifestyle. Now you're delving into lifestyle. What if Xzibit as a man feels like, you know, all that stuff don't mean anything. I came up a certain way. I want my kid to have a certain type of texture, and I'm gonna hold back on this. And you're doing I think what it is, you had this picture of this lifestyle that you felt like you was gonna live forever. And as we all know as human beings, sometimes when you're up there, you know, you're not gonna be up there forever. Some people stay up there for a longer time, but nothing's forever. So at the end of the day, when you've seen that and now you see you overspend, these bills start coming in, I feel like that's the point where you said, you know what, you want more out of him. But you know, and that's the unfairness in it. You know, if you wiped out all of that material stuff and you scraped that out, you probably would save money with the money that you're getting already. Stop being greedy and take care of your kids the right way. Stop putting material stuff in front of the relationship and thinking that just because you can't get that the relationship ain't what it is. No, it is what it is. Some kids go without. Some kids don't have the most of all the most expensive clothes, but they make do with what they have, and they have a better understanding of who their parents are than the parents that just throwing all these logos on the kid, and they don't even know who their parents really are. So pay attention and stop thinking that, you know, when somebody is trying to boost up some child support nonsense, is that they're just doing it for the kid. No, a lot of these times we're seeing a lot of people taking that child support stuff and then placing it on clothes and material things. What if Xzibit is not a material person? Yes, he's a rapper, but you know, as a man, you grow. What if he doesn't see the value in that? Should he still be charged more for his child support because he doesn't see the value in it like you see? No, you're talking about taking that child support to support a lifestyle. No, the child support is supposed to support the kid. There have to be some restructuring in that, because I don't believe her story. Come on now. You're talking about Xzibit, and let me tell you, just because you know, it's people play on you when things are down and out, or when they feel like you got more than what's expected. Times are hard, man, for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or if you have the lowest amount of money. Times are hard. If you're a millionaire, you don't want to lose your money and not become a millionaire, right? And if you're down, you want to try to get more so you won't be down further, right? So everybody's playing the same thing. We're all in the same boat. And then you have these people that they don't put no work in. And I'm not saying that being a mother is no work. work. But all I'm saying is the stuff that you based in your complaint, it were all materialistic things. I can understand if you say, well, the food prices went up and things like that, and you put down a legitimate price of how you spend on food. But it ain't even that. The stuff that you put down there were materialistic things. Ladies, we got to get over how the baby looks and how all of this, you know, how the look of the family looks, and start realizing that it's all about how the kids feel. Kids are not out here for just, it's not just like a fashion show. Kids are out here to learn as they grow older, and a lot of kids are not learning as they grow older. They have to, when they get older, they just start learning, because that whole time has been like a fuss between mommy and daddy, and they had no learning time of anything. You got to get it together. Stop trying to take out money out of people's pocket just because you can. I've seen people raise kids on way less than that. So you have to be mindful of what you're doing. I don't think she's gonna win that, man. Come on, stop it. And the latest, another thing I've seen, this was straight nonsense. It was foolishness. Kanye West, so now he's saying that, you know, all these harsh remarks he said about people and how he's a Nazi, and even the shirts that he was selling, they were ugly. Even the stuff that he was selling, he's saying now his dentist, he went to the dentist and they did he got like, you know, I guess they gave him some kind of medication that made him think crazy. And, you know, all of these things, this whole backtracking what you did and how you hurt people don't realize when it comes out your mouth and you put it into the atmosphere, it's in the public, and you hurt people, you don't just get to say, oh, I'm sorry, or point some excuse to. This is why lazy people with these low vibrational mindsets fall trap all the time. Sorry, they use words like sorry, I love you, oh, it's my bad. These are the things that's like, you're not really standing behind what you're doing. You're just ready for looking for a way out. When you say things like what you say, and you go sell these t-shirts, and then you claim that you have ownership of this and that, and you just going off, you feel like, it almost feels like, you know what, I could say anything to them at any time and they'll just believe it. No, it's not like that, man. You got to get yourself together off of social media, man. I mean, it's sad for the guy, and it's not like he's not like I'm pretty sure that, you know, around his kids and things, like, he's a good person. I'm pretty sure of that. But it's just his public image is the thing that it could be very detrimental on how people treat him, approach him, everything to go on, man. It's just stop being so disrespectful. If you don't know something about somebody's culture, just don't go off of what somebody just tells you. I told you, there's a lot of people out here with this false intelligence. They'll tell you anything. Yeah, they'll tell you Hitler was a painter. Yeah, they'll tell you that. Yeah, he was, and also a lot of other things too. Did they tell you that part? So, you know, it's just like, you know, yeah, somebody can kill somebody and ride a bike too, and walk in the park with flowers in their hand. You know, it's just kind of like, we gotta wake up and start realizing that the things that we say are detrimental to us and how we move on. Nobody's gonna wanna buy into your stuff. Nobody's gonna have trust in. Don't you see a lot of these big companies right now, they're losing money, billions of dollars, because they lost the trust of the people. A lot of people don't want to buy into companies that's going to in turn hurt their people. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? This is how it works. That's what I told you. In America, it's a melting pot. So once you start taking from this culture, start taking from that culture, the bricks you pulling out, the building is going to crumble, because it took all those different cultures to get us where we're at right now. If you don't understand how that goes, you don't understand what America's about. You really don't understand what it's about. You're following some stuff on social media on one of these platforms, and it's got your head all flooded with this nonsense. The fact of it all is how you present yourself, what you say on social media could be detrimental to your business if you do care about your business and if you care about your family. Because remember, what you do is, you have kids, yeah, you got little ones running around, you got little ones looking up to you, yeah, they're gonna get older too, and then they're gonna start being questioned on why daddy, your father was like this and your mother was so and so. So be mindful of that too, because karma comes in all size packages. Trust me. You think karma care about if it's a certain age? No, it's aura even hangs around babies. You have to understand what life is about. Go back, do some research, and when I say do some research, I don't necessarily mean Google it. Pick up a book. Go look and see in these places things where there's a blueprint for a lot of things out now that people try to put this new blueprint on top of because they don't have the right amount of education to figure it out. But this blueprint said already. You want to add a blueprint to that, you have to understand what those blueprints are about. Stop being so hard-headed and understand that you think the power you think you have, we would not, as a culture, would not want you with it. We'll all stand against because you're too random. People that so random thoughts like that and they're just random in the things that they splurt out their mouth are usually the people that get themselves in trouble. And these are people that can't stand for other people because you have to have some kind of like how the spell check, you have to have some kind of filter in your mind to know that this might be offensive to these certain people. Let me try to get my point across this way. I mean, you were a rapper, right? And a producer. You mean you did all of that stuff. You can figure a beat out. You can figure out lyrics, but you can't figure your life out? That's beyond me. That's like, it's so unbalanced. I can't see that. Look, one of my favorites, I always bring him up. Shouts out to Nas. Nas has been dropping jewels from the beginning, day one of his albums, all the way up to now. And yes, there's a lot of street business in it, but for you to understand that, you got to understand how the man grew up, how his texture, spoken so well in lyric. And then he brings it to the table, and still when you see Nas, he's still a balanced person. He's not out here falling all over the floor drunk and doing all in the media's face. And no, he doesn't have that because really, his artistry spoke for itself. Be that type. You say you want to, you claim yourself to be a genius. Usually people don't say I'm a genius. Usually people tell them if they feel like they're a genius or some kind of prodigy. But okay, hip hop deemed you a genius. Why don't you try to live up to that point and try to do good for the people in hip hop? Stop worrying about other, because we already know that you're not good with talking about other people's cultures or being in politics, but why don't you keep it in hip hop? You have I believe you're a billion. I don't know how much money Kanye West has, but I'm hoping that he has enough sense to know that he should be a billionaire by now with all the product he put out and the type of attention he garnered. So you have all of this money, and you mean to tell me you can't do something within hip hop to make some changes and maybe turn it around for some producers, DJs, or something? Have some different types of shows out there. Instead, you out here chasing, I'm gonna tell it like it is. You're out here chasing these white chicks, they see right through you, and when, boom, you hear the next thing, they're gonna be grabbing your money. And I'm not saying that who you should be dating or who you not should be dating, but just slow down on the dating. There's nothing wrong with that. And concentrate on what God put you and the things that made you great. Stop being out here and trying to be in everybody's business. That's not, if you said you're that, why, that's not the type of, it's not aligning. The things that you're doing is not aligning with the person that you say you are, man. It's not. But yeah, man, I don't want to, that's just that. I was just like, you're going to come back and it's like this sorry, oh, the dentist did. It's not, life doesn't work that way. It's almost, it's like, let's roll into the Jay-Z and the Tony, but like, the lawyer done try to stain the man, and now, he wants $20 million. But, and to be honest with you, he probably could have tipped the scale a little bit more than that, but he probably know 20 probably sink his boat. At the end of the day, man, you can't just stain people and just turn around and be like, oh, this is not it, and throw it away. No, you don't do that to people. The man got a family. This is no more like some little kid you talking to. This is not Jay-Z the rapper. This is Jay-Z the legend. You're not gonna come and just say anything about people with status, and it's just about anybody. You're making it up. That's the reason why the internet has people not doing research. Just do the research. They think Googling is just the research. No, get your information, your facts right. Bring people there. No blur faces. You don't have none of that. So you don't just pull somebody and think that it's go for a money grab. There's no money to grab over there. There's no money to grab over there. So when you see people, and don't be mad when a person fights back, because look, you don't understand that time is money. And in these times, it's not only money, but it's all I can say, man, Jay-Z gonna live long, y'all. Jay gonna live long because he's doing it the right way. You don't let anybody just play with your name, whether you have the most money in the world or not. You don't let people play with your name and your family. People do not go for that. And the charges, the charges and the things that was said in it, it was disgusting, and he didn't even have it together. Get yourself together before you come out here and stains on people's name. And that's the reason why $20 million is going to look like that. And he's going to run. I'm pretty sure it happens all the time, you guys. They get the running quick. They try to take off. And it's like, no, come back here. We trying to have this conversation. Like, why are you running? Yeah, you're running because your facts are not right. And this and this and this is going to end up, you're going to be the person that's going to have to pay this. It's sad, man. These made up stories just because it's like everybody want to go viral, but what are you going viral for? The wrong reasons is going to get you in trouble. Because a lot of people go viral and don't even know it because of it's the nonsense. When the nonsense goes viral, it stays with you. It stays with you, man. That becomes part of your character. When you do what you do and you love what you do and that goes viral, it's a different sense. It's a different sense. It's a different feeling that you get out of that. So don't look, man. I tell you, man. People that say anything about anybody, it's up to you to have this to understand what you can separate right from wrong. You know, another thing. Remember, I told you guys. Do you guys remember? I told you it was like a football player here. Got robbed, and these guys they took his watches, $1 million. It turns out another NBA player, John Morant, he was caught up in it too. They stole like $1 million out of, I believe, in jewelry and things like that. You know, he's a young guy. The guy's, I think, he's about 25 or something like that years old. He's a young guy. I'm not sure. Let me see. I believe he's a young guy, and all I have to say for the new millionaires, I should say, and the NBA players and all the sports players, you know, just getting yourself into that process of turning into the new you with the, you know, the money's coming in. Y'all too, man, don't go out there and get this rapper lifestyle kit, man, with the big jewelry, because you know all of that type of stuff. When you go to the jeweler and you put in your information, everywhere you go with that nonsense on, they're gonna find a way to get to your house and get what you got going on. You don't want to risk your career for some metal or some shiny stuff, man. It's not even worth it. You just playing the game of basketball, the things that you love all through the season and becoming the best you will live a longer story than you having that story about, you know, you getting that chain snatched off your neck at the club trying. You're already somebody. You made it to the NBA. What you worrying about putting all the, you see, that's what I'm saying, man. A lot of people, you got to be able to back that lifestyle, meaning that if you out there, you don't have a family together, probably not yet, living in the house, so every time you take a game or you go to a game or travel, your house is left unattended. All of this stuff it's going to get people having this understanding of, you know, sometimes having too much stuff kind of attract just the wrong stuff to me. Like, you like jewelry, okay. Do you have to have $1 million worth of jewelry in there? You know, it's kind of like, in these times, it's nothing to play with, but people lose their lives for smaller things, and you just gotta be. I feel like just having that achievement of being in the NBA says a lot more than you just having millions and millions of dollars worth of jewelry. I mean, it says a lot more. You achieved that whole journey of wanting to be. A lot of people wanted to be in the NBA and never made it to that point. You know, they got the jewelry, but they never made it to that point. So you just got to have a balance in your life to know who you are. And it's sad, but they did catch the people behind. He was one of the people caught up. They was taking a lot of people's, and it was all connected back to these two guys when they was buying the jewelry. So it's never, you know, things are being more organized. People are work on you and hunt people and things like that. It's just a darker side of the streets that it's no need to talk about. Another thing. Did y'all hear? Now I heard this going around on the headlines how Claressa Shields, that's Papoose is supposed, you know, new shorty, the how she was they found drugs in her system and this and that. I'm like, drugs in her system? The way she beat them people up, I don't think she needed any drugs in her system. And then I started reading more, and then it said marijuana. I'm like, look, you see, this is what people do. This is like the same thing they did to the Olympic track runner. You tried to stain people's name, and you tried to like demolish their achievements because of these certain things. And you know what? It plays a 50-50 because you can be wrong and strong. You have to understand, Claressa, too, that, you know, you in a position that you are, any little wrong that they can catch on you, they're going to highlight on you. So you got to be that much aware. And, you know, even though it's legal in so many other places and things like that, when it comes down to sports, there is an iffy thing about it. I've heard in the past that basketball teams, certain teams in certain places where it was illegal, they were all smoking when the games were finished. But I guess in certain sports, when it comes to like aggressive sports and things like that, because to me, honestly, it's not, I don't think marijuana is enhancement of fighting. It's actually something that calms you down, and there is certain like sativas and things that bring you up, but at the end of the day, it's not a boost of strength, I would say. But who knows? But that's what they're saying. I just crossed that whole thoughts out, and I'm like, yo, she's a great boxer. I hope they don't even try to pull that up, because it's not gonna work with the public. She wasn't, to me, she's not using any type of substances that made her win the fight. Her winning those fights came from those two hands that she has in this up here. But that's just something I came across, and I was just like, look, I look at them, look what they're doing. I see it, I see it, I see it. I see what they're trying to do. Be careful. You gotta know, you gotta know. I seen Donald Trump. He did like a Black History Month event. Okay, okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, but you know, it's like it's a lot of things going on in our communities, and I'm hearing that we also, they said that we're gonna get like help, and they're gonna give five. You know, I don't ever. It's like until it's in my hand, I don't believe you or your plan. It's just we have this type of texture nowadays where that's not gonna work out for a lot of people. Trust me. If you wanna touch the people, you gotta actually touch the people. You can't be, saying whatever and just wait till a few months and then change it up and hopefully they forget, because people are catching up with that stuff. People are catching up with that stuff. Shouts out to Andy Appleseed, my guy. And it's just it gets crazy out here, bro. It's just a lot going on. People are just they taking their life, and they putting it like they're betting it away. That's the way I look at it. Like people are just taking bets on certain things and trusting in people and things like that. You can't trust these people when they have money as their intentions. Are you crazy? You'll be the last one left on that on the list if you keep putting all your trust in people that's just guided by money. We got to be smarter than that when we out there. Today can't wait for you guys to see the video at 12 p.m. It's gonna be really dope. It's gonna be really dope. It's gonna be really dope. Just conversations that we just have amongst each other, man. Let me see what else is out here. Oh, another thing I seen going around too. I didn't really want to even talk too much on it, but it's just like they want people to act outside of themselves. The whole 50 Cent and Meech thing. It's kind of like 50 is being 50. I don't see, like, or I don't know, I just know the coverage of what, when it comes down to the streets and it comes down to the system, the federal system, there's not too many ways you can be released out of prison. There's a few, but when it comes to pointing the finger, do I care? No, all I do is I remember BMF and those guys with their nice jewelry, and it was a time, man. They really set a time, and they really had a big look in hip hop. But beyond that, I really love hip hop for the rappers and the artists and the culture of it. That's what I really more pay attention to, the artistry of it. I'm not really, as far as like the street business and things like that, street business is always going to be street business. It's never going to be ever fair, and it's never going to be, it's not, hip hop needs help right now, not the streets. Hip hop needs that type of help, because hip hop is in control of the people in these communities. They're watching, and they have control of the youth. Let's face it, we have control of the youth, and we want to lead them the right way, instead of just saying, big ups to this drug dealer, big ups to that. Well, I have no problem with a man having a second chance, but me just highlighting him over a lot of people that didn't make those type of mistakes, it's not for me to, I'm not the best representative for that. I don't, 50's being 50, he's standing on what he's standing on, and it's been that way. I don't see why people get so confused with people. Like, you have to just understand people for who they are, and not everybody's the same. I don't ever like judge people all the same. Like, it's not. Things happen, and some people don't have a heart for certain things because of the way they came up, and certain things that somebody might look at somebody maybe getting shot down, and that might hurt them for a long time and make them stress out and things like that. Whereas a regular person that's in the environment, growing up in it, you might just look at that and can still go on with your day and eat your lunch. You know, it's people take things differently. So don't start judging people and telling people what they expect out of people. If anything, just expect the best, man, and that's it, man. That's it. I'm starving today. I don't know what I'm gonna get today, man. I'm very hungry today. I'm getting me some food. And I want you guys. I'm gonna be tuning. So 12 p.m. I'm gonna be on the live with you guys when the video's up, and I want to see, you know, how this conversation goes. I'm not gonna give the title of the conversation, but it's gonna be a good one. Trust me on that. Trust me on that one. What else do I have for you guys on a Friday? On this beautiful Friday. I seen Cameron has some words for Dame Dash, and I think Cam is cool, man. I love Cam. I just added a few more Cameron songs to my playlist, man. Some of the music that he, even all the way up to his recent music, Cameron has a way. He's another one. He's another one of one. When you're talking about the one of one of artists, he's another one, man. He's another one. He's another one. He's one of them. I was just adding a few songs to the playlist, but he had some words on Dame Dash, and I think a lot of the things that Cameron said, he was absolutely right. You know, there's one thing about making money, but there's another thing about how you treat people. And I'm not saying that Dame Dash was like probably the worst of treating people, but some people you could say, like how when somebody say you rub them the wrong way, yeah. You know, it's not like you can't please everybody, but when people are feeling uncomfortable around you and everybody can point out something and it's, you know, similar to what everybody's saying about you, these are things that you might have to correct, you know. But I don't think Cameron, you know, you just have to understand that Cam and a lot of people that they know these people, they have a different way. So when you hear a certain person talking a certain way, some people might take it and be like, oh, he's just dissing them. No, he's just telling his truth and how he feels up to this point. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being truthful, whether he comes out blunt with it or not. I'd just rather a person be truthful and be themselves, and instead of you wanting that answer that you expected to get. No, what's the sense of that? Then we wouldn't. Why would we all doing and saying the same things? Does that make sense? It doesn't. So I heard the things he had to say, and it was just like, you know, there's a lot of mistakes that a lot of people make in the past, and it comes with power of being, you know, first time landing some money or big amounts of money, or first time just having to maybe be the coach of an army or a coach of a crew, or, you know, you're the one put in on that pedestal, and sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. So there's nothing wrong with not being the boss. I don't know why everybody wants to be this boss. Sometimes it's better to, you know, be a worker within your journey, and then your outcome of that journey, you become that person at that point instead of trying to be that person all the way through. Because then you never really get the substance of the story. Like a lot of these rappers come out right now and they already got the change. They got everything going. It seems like they won the prize. But then when their story come off now, it doesn't come off as authentic because we didn't take the ride with them through the journey. And that's what a lot of things that people are missing that. People are missing that. It's the instant gratification because of social media. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I see him out there. I see him out there. You know, there's nothing wrong with feeling better about yourself, putting on a new outfit and representing your energy. But it's also a thing that you have to know that doesn't really control your energy. It just adds to your energy. You know, like if you can't, because I heard you know, like some of the clothes that these people are buying, a lot they're being tricked because they put high prices. They attach high prices to items with no story, and that's just like a waste of money, a waste of time. And a lot of this stuff, if you haven't noticed in our times that we're living in now, things don't really last too long. You're talking about subscription-based energy all around the board. When it comes down to foods, it don't last as long as it used to. When anything, even our clothes, it does. You know, sometimes you had your favorite sweater you can hold that sweater for 2 Christmases. You know, and in these times, by the time you go back to that sweater, it's not holding up the same. The threads is popping out here and there. It's because everybody has this like fast, this kind of like a fast mindset. And sometimes if you slow it down, pay attention to detail, you realize the details says that you don't need all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm cooling out on this Friday. I love y'all too. Much love, much love. I really appreciate y'all every time. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it, because without y'all, man, I'll just be another guy with anxiety, with a lot of ideas, trying to figure it out. But I came to a place where I've mapped out certain things in my life that I can help you guys along the way with too. And I'm just trying to get everything in order, and I can start doing what I have to do so we can have a better connection than the one we have now. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love I get. The little, and I wouldn't say a little bit of love, because it's a lot of love, especially when you're connecting with people in a world so big. YouTube is such a big platform. There's so many people jumping on here and just giving their take on life. And I'm glad that you guys tune in and see, check me out. You know what I mean? Check the vibe, y'all. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's where I'm at today, this Friday. I'm gonna get something to eat, and I don't want to just stop automatically, but I want y'all to tune in today at 12 p.m. So that should be around lunchtime for you guys. You guys have a little break in between. Check out my videos. Trust me, there's a little boost of energy in every one of them. What else we got here? Oh, another thing I almost forgot. What about ASAP? Like, what is it? ASAP Rally? Excuse me. ASAP Rally, I mean, why do you continue on? I wouldn't even say anything at this point. Like I told you, just remove the ASAP part and just start realizing that your life, even for you, your life begins now. ASAP Rocky's life, he's continuing his journey. Like, sometimes you gotta part ways with people that you thought you were once friends with, and you have to keep living on. So don't get, because we're at a point where what you tried to do or what happened, it didn't work out for you. Hey, take the loss, go about your business with it. Don't keep getting yourself into getting onto social media, and because what happens is you end up getting in a place where now you're going back at Rocky on social media, doing these subliminal things. Don't get into all that, because that's going to lead you downhill. It's not going to lead you anywhere, man. And I like the fact that ASAP Rocky, he came out, I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him, because nowadays, man, your family is all you got, man. I don't care what nobody tell you, man. Your family all you got. And I hear people out here trying to fake the most with, how they're friends with this and friends with so-and-so. But really, them people ain't got your back like how you say they do. And you know that. You know that. I don't even know why you're over there with them people. Them people, they just want to smile in your face and then, say talk behind your back and all that. All of that stuff, man, especially when you know how detrimental social media could be to your family, to your job. I would think you guys would pay more attention to the things that you put out there or the things that people think of you. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't pay too much attention to what people think of you, but it definitely gives you a reflection of what you're putting out. Because sometimes people could get, irritated by you, but if what you're saying is your truth, then you keep saying it. But if you're irritating people because you're trying to be a smart ass, or you're trying to be, an a-hole because you feel like that holds power with it, man, you're going to soon see that power comes from the things that you leave in people's heart, not the things that you say in people's face. A lot of these people, they do a lot of yibbity yapping and they talk all loud and all crazy, and they expect you to you're supposed to buy into that, and that's supposed to spook you enough to stop what you're doing. Like, are you crazy, man? Are you not? This life is made for all of us as a whole. That's why you see a lot of these people that they point the finger at, and you saying they this and they that. Them people gonna live a long life. You watch and see. Them people gonna live a long life. You know why? Because they ain't pointing their finger at nobody, right? They just trying to build on what they got going on. And everybody, just because somebody, might have more than you, or you deem they got more than you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get it for yourself or do better for your people. Stop looking at other people. And maybe you can see the clearness within yourself. I can't stand people that just, they just want to take. We see it going on in business. So what we supposed to take as people, the people that rob us and rob us of all the things that we brought to the table, we supposed to turn around now and start taking on their regimen and start robbing people. So that make us a bunch of robbers. No, I don't want to jump in that space. No, I'm not working for them people or working for them devilish acts type of thing. No, I don't want none of that. Let me go about my business with the people that love me and the people I could formulate, and we can all stay in a place where we don't have to do that wicked stuff to survive and be happy. Come on now. Let's get up, man. Let's get up off of that stuff, man. Let's get up off of that stuff. That stuff is expired, man. We can't. You don't see what's going on social media. Them people time comes soon come. Trust me. Don't trust me. It's always gonna be a headline. Just become the headline. You know, be the one understanding and telling the story, then be the one actually in these type of situations, man. Come on now. We see what's going on around. We see a lot of people, they have a gist of what's going on, but they don't really see the seriousness of it. No, people are dying every day, every single day. Whether it's due to health problems, health issues, or it's due to just stressful, or just they off and they mental and they go out there and they just, you know, do something crazy. I see it. I see it a lot. And healing energy always going out to anybody that's survivors of a plane crash, or just people that fell victim and their families are mourning them. Healing energy, because nowadays, like I always tell you guys, be mindful of the person next to you, because that person could be going through things. And sometimes just saying, how you doing? What's up? What's going on? And formulating that little conversation could save a person's life. Miracles do happen. I always tell you guys that. Miracles do happen, man. And you can be more than you think you can to somebody that just doesn't have no direction in themselves. You can be more than you can do better. I always like, and nowadays, you know, and I don't want to be harsh on the artist or anything, but when I hear some of the music, I'm like, that was dope, but you can do better. Like, I know you can do better though. And it's not just to say, just do this, do that, this, do that. But it's just like, you know, try to, you know, do better. Just like do better. Like maybe, you know, try to make the song up from scratch instead of trying to look for a certain sound and try to formulate the sound around your lyrics after you write the lyrics. Try to do something different with your pad so that you don't come out sounding like what's already out there, and people don't, you know, they're not going to buy into those stories. We already know the ending of these stories, and that's kind of the reason why, if you can open our minds up to something that we don't know already, or something that we can look forward to, then you're going to be golden. You're going to be golden everywhere you go. But if it's just you're telling the same story with a different twist and things like that, that's just like, it don't take too much. You know, it don't take too much. We heard it time and time again. You want to tell a story of you know, up at you, your life and you up to this point. Kind of give people how you feel about what's going on in the communities, and try to start breaking it down from that. Or try to make your lyrics a little more culture driven, so like people can directly understand you as an artist. So for example, like a lot of these artists, I'm like, I didn't even know some of them, like from Barbados and things like that, where I'm, you know, my family's from. So I never, because they don't say it in their lyrics or anything. So try to maybe tackle those points where people don't tackle those lyrics. Instead of worrying how cool you sound on the mic, try to get the words in, stuff the words in and what you really feel. And then people gravitate to you. You know, a lot of people have this issue right now. It's like, do you want the money or do you want the notoriety? Do you want it's like, don't search for acceptance. Just know that you're accepted. You don't, it's like, don't go out there and try to become the greatest artist. You are the greatest artist. Once you know who you are and you go out there, then you build on what you believe in. If you go out there and you patent yourself against somebody else, you know what's going to happen? You and that person, whether y'all get into it or you end up stop liking that person along the way, or they start hating on you because you're not finding yourself. You're doing it's like remix energy. I told you guys about that remix stuff. You remix this, you remix that, you remix this, and then it's like, where's your stuff? It's like, you know, try to write it down and try make it original, and people will dig you for it, man. They'll rather that. Trust me, we'll rather that. We'll rather that. That's why sometimes when if the music come out from the youth and it come out a little bit like lighter on the production side, but it comes out a little higher on the talent side, then I'll take it. I'll take that. You don't have to have the most production or the biggest I hear you. If I hear what you're doing, I think that's how artists like Doche and those artists broke through, because they kind of form a sense of you feel like something different, something that's true to them touched you, and that's how we bust it up. That's how we communicate, you know. I feel like the artists right now are just giving people like what they want to hear. No, you don't know what you want to hear until I lay it there for you. This ain't like you ordered this song from me. No, I'm giving you something that I feel that's deep from me, and I'm handing it to you, and I'm giving it to you so you can listen and try to figure it out. Get on that type of energy, and you'll find how all the crowds will draw to you. It's just like you know what's a good way to structure it if, as an artist, just to give you all a little tip. You see like how they have like, just say they have people that's teaching education. You know, you have these the things that you feel most that you can see yourself talking about for years. There's the same, that's the same type of recipe. You have to say, you know, I could see myself rapping about this for years. You know, like for a good example, just because he just struck my mind, Redman. Redman has been one of the dopest MCs for years and years to come. His recipe was always being true to himself. His first entrance to the game, he showed you the things, he showed you his demographic. I'm from New Jersey. Once he stamped that, he showed you the things he started liking. I like to smoke. I like to have fun this way. I like the chicks. And he started growing with his audience. So by the time you guys now hear Redman you might see a guy, you be like, well, he's an older guy, he's having fun, this and that, and he's just smiling. No, that was the guy from the beginning. He was always like that. We knew his story from when he had the little tissue in the nose all the way up till now. From the How High movies, everything that his legacy, he lived it through his audience. So when we see him now, that's why everybody cheer for him and say, oh, that's a dope song, and they check for him, you know, because his story is solid with people. We can trust in that. We can trust in that. And you see a lot of artists, they lose that because they want this instant that right now. And it's like, we can't really trust in that because we don't know what you're going to do tomorrow. If you jump today, you put on this mask. Tomorrow, you might this mask. You know, you got to grow with your audience. And that even in content creating is the same thing. That's how I feel about YouTube. I feel like the more I talk to you guys and you guys get to know me better and the things that, you know, that I respect and the things that I might could help you guys out with, that's when I say, you know what, let me subscribe. Boop, I'll check them out later. You know, that's that you earn, you got to earn your time with people, earn your conversation, and don't think that everybody just wants to see you and hear what you're saying just because you're saying it. You got to earn that with the people. You earn this type of trust with people that you could always have somebody kind of to like lean on in a media way, you know, like if this is going down, let me hear his reaction on it, you know. And once you start realizing and start formulating that, you start realizing that everybody's channel, everybody's space is your space. Your bubble is your bubble. And, you know, as much as we come together, you still have to have control of your bubble so that when we do come together, whatever you're saying is understandable to your audience. A lot of people lose people like that. Could you imagine that, like, they're not just going, but let's go back to Kanye West. All the great music, Kanye West, all his music, it has something to it that you can attach yourself to. But could you imagine how he lost his audience without even it being the music? He lost his audience from showing the audience himself, his lost self, I would say, because I never want to attach this picture like on these people. Like I still don't want to attach that picture on Diddy until the case. Like I don't want to attach, it's somewhere along the way he got lost, and this is the outlook of who he is in these times. So could you imagine that a person that can make so much of great music and be so in depth with the culture could turn around and turn his back in a way where it's almost like, who did this to you? And that's one of the reasons why you can lose trust, just like snap of a finger. Your biggest brand that you spend, you know, all your money on, all your time, or you saved up all your money on, today you can look at it like, I really, really want that. I know I have to have this. I have to have that bag. And tomorrow something could happen. Some people could fall out of the sky. Something could burn down. And your love for that type of lifestyle just changed. And now when you look at the thing now, it don't look like how much you paid for it was worth it. When you find that realization, you start understand, it'll make you laugh. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you laugh. But you'll realize that, you know what? It was just that time. It was in that time. And you begin to, instead of looking for these value in these items, you start finding the value within yourself, the people around you. You start, you know, telling people like, yo, you know what? Now you're pretty good at that. You do this, you become this coach of how you feel it should be, and it makes you not much, it makes you a better person, but at the same time it makes you more aware. I wouldn't say just because you being a better person all depends on you, but it makes you more aware to things, and the ads and what the propaganda and all the lies people throw out there. You'll be able to dodge them and just stick to the root of whatever you have going for yourself. You don't really need so much to make a lot, you know, in these times. But you just have to realize that the people that you touch out there, as long as you're giving them something that they can take with them, or maybe help them out, or help them look at things in a different way, that's valuable. That's valuable. That's a conversation worth being had. That's valuable to anybody. So keep that in mind, and don't let people tell you that, you know, what you're bringing to the table or what you have going on for yourself is not enough. It's enough for you, right? So yeah, you know, as the prices go high, skyrocketing in the air, as God will tell it, you're gonna be all right. Something's gonna happen in between all of this. Something gonna crash. Something they ain't gonna let us go out there. They ain't gonna just push you on the street, like, cause we all somebody. We all human beings, and how we treat each other is going to be the biggest reflection of life as we know it in these next years to come. Because if we keep treating ourselves like this is how the human body will have no value to anybody. It will be no worth. It will be no value. People just get rid of him, cancel him, cancel him. When you can say, wait, hold up, you did that. Why'd you do that? Okay, because you was hurt. Okay, cool. So by any chance you think that if you did this, I could kind of fix you into this mindset, and you can use that same strength, energy to build this? Okay. Oh, now we just built a whole new person. Oh, okay, we're building new mindsets. We're building new ways to look at things. That is the opportunity that the future doesn't offer you that. That's the opportunity you have to snatch for yourself. Chat GPT, none of that stuff, all of the AI is not going to offer you that. That's something you got to have set up here to do, and want to win at it. You gotta want to know the next move. You gotta want to know, wait, he has his hand in his pocket. That's the left pocket. Okay, cool. He's wearing jeans. He's gonna pull out slower because of the jeans. Okay, it can't be a gun, because if it's a gun, then it might get caught up in the jean. Or he's wearing loose pants. Okay, he might have some. You gotta figure things out on the snap of a finger. You gotta know if somebody's lying or they're lying because, oh, they just said this a day ago and now they got in trouble for this. They're saying this just because they want to cover this up, or no, this went down because they just wanted this one. You gotta start having the probabilities. Start figuring it out. Figure it out. Figure it out, you guys. Figure it out, my people. You can do it. You can do it. You can become whatever you want to be. And just because today is sad today don't mean tomorrow that you can't become a better person. Today I'm feeling all right. Tomorrow I might be down, and then I got to get myself back up again. It's always like this up and down, up and down, up and down. But through it all, let's just keep us together and stop canceling and putting people out. Let's just, all this, you know, there's been a lot of gatekeeper talk and stuff like that. I'm not the one. I was never the one that even want to stand by the gate. But all I can tell you is don't be that person. Now that we know that being a gatekeeper and holding people back from their dreams could be detrimental to the karma that's going to be approaching you, now that we learned all of this, we should start taking things like that where you see a person that's you feel like they might be trying to block you from doing this and that. Go around instead of, you know, just go around instead of like trying to break through the wall every time, because you might end up hurting yourself. Go around. It might take a little longer. Go around, because nothing is promised. Nothing is promised. Enjoy your life for whatever your life, you know, expects out of you. You got kids, you got family loving you. These are things you can enjoy. And then at the same time, use your mindset of wherever you at, when you have that clear mind, to think of new things to do for yourself. Hip hop is, it's always been an opening for Black culture and for people to have a ways of, you know, changing their life and in a very drastic way. And you can start from zero, and then you can be a millionaire in due time if you work hard at your craft. For some people don't even work hard at their craft and they get there. But there's also other opportunities out there needed in the world that you can become part of and be the best at. Always go for the things that you love, and you will be the best at it. So I want to leave you guys with that this Friday. Today I still have more videos dropping. I got one dropping at 12 p.m. So it's not like I'm disappearing, going anywhere. I got a few things to do. And yeah, like I told you guys, I'm very, very hungry. But I wanted to leave you guys on some, you know, on just on the uplifting side of this Friday. There's a lot of things going down. You know, also I just wanted to add in there too. I was watching this movie on. Boosie got a few movies. You know, don't you know? Movies, hip hop, they go side to side. I want to see a lot of more of our artists, especially the youthful artists, and even like the 21 Savages, the Kendricks. I want to see the Drakes. I want to see. I wouldn't mind if in a couple movies or telling their story through movie, adding that sense of hip hop into the movie. Let's get some more hip hop movies in the on the big screens, because in my time coming up, we had so many movies. Like I told you, the good brother just passed away from House Party, rest in peace. But movies like that, just try to, and then when I say movies like that, doesn't mean you have to go and do that movie. It means that you come up with your experience, how you came up, and give us that. And then we need a lot more things like that to open people's eyes that we all are here, but everybody's different. Let's start working on ourselves. Let's make this Friday the best. And then when Monday comes around, we're gonna be so ready for Monday that it's kind of like it's gonna feel like this Friday. So let's get that energy going around. To everybody out there on YouTube, man, all the content creators out there just trying to put out your best information. Try to do the best you can, because in these times, man, we all we got, man. Love y'all. Put out your best content, and give y'all best opinions. Don't talk down on people, because you know how it is. One day we up, one day we down, because these people got so many tricks that, they spin us around. All right? Love you. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Share it, like it, notify, do all that stuff.